morning, beloveds. Gabby has something to say, and Foster's being annoying to Hayes, so I don't know what's going on today. All right. Outside of the fact that it is Groundhog Day, and come on, Gabby. Okay, I was worried she was going to knock the camera over. It's Groundhog Day. It's going to be 71, 72 degrees today. Tomorrow, the high is going to be 40. Yay! I know that sounded a little sarcastic. Because we got a 50% chance of rain today and a 80% chance tomorrow. It could be interesting. Okay, so it is February 2nd. Our title is I Give Thanks in Advance for the Answer to My Prayer. Our quote is, His delight is in the law of the Lord, and in his law doth he meditate day and night. Okay, and that is Psalm 1:2. The law of the mind never fails, even when it delivers to us the things and conditions we do not like. It is still functioning perfectly. Our use of it determines our experience, and wise is the person who only thinks rightly. Prayer, scientifically understood, is a statement of spiritual fact. It convinces us that good alone is true and right. Alone is victorious. No, and right alone is victorious. As we are convinced of these facts, the results are brought into our lives by the law of life. The psalmist advises us to delight in the law of the Lord, which is the law of mind. He suggests that we think about this law both day and night. We must have what we want. We may have what we want, but we must think it definitely and continuously in order to have it made manifest. Thanksgiving in prayer is vital, for it makes us believe that we already have our good. When the idea is established within us, it then takes form around us. I give thanks that there is a perfect law of mind and that I am able to use it. God responds to me as I respond to God. I now turn to the indwelling spirit and affirm its presence. I know that every true desire of my heart is being established unto me today. I place these desires in the law of good and rejoice that its perfect action is now taking place in me, around me, and through me. All this day, I remind myself that my demonstrations already are made. I give in advance for the answer to my prayer. I give in advance for the answers to my prayer. My whole being is open and receptive to the good that is now arriving upon my doorstep. I rest in the law and meditate upon its accuracy. So, two things that immediately jump out at me is, and I'm going to quote Jesse, but I believe Jesse is quoting somebody else. And I can't remember who he's quoting. He is quoting somebody else, but I can't remember who he's quoting. Because whoever this teacher is, somebody asked him, well, where is my good? And this teacher responded, well, your good is wherever it is now, but it's on its way. So it's like, where is your good? It already exists. Your good already exists. It may only exist as an idea in mind, but it already exists. Therefore, that's why he says you want to think continuously, constantly on it. You want to meditate upon it. You don't want to obsess over it. There's a difference. But the other thing that struck me about this is we are always using the law. Always. So anytime we are held by a strong emotion, that's the time to be thinking about the law. Because it's that strong emotion that powers the law. So therefore, if we want good, then when we are being held by strong emotion, which is a big packet of power, we need to make sure that whatever the emotion is, and anger is a strong emotion, and it is a legitimate emotion, we want to be sure where we're directing it. So that's one of the things that's why he's talking about thinking about the law constantly continuously. Because the more power you're putting behind whatever it is that you are having the emotion about, that you're more likely to get it. Which is why he said, when we get results we don't like, the law is working perfectly. We're just not being careful about how we're using it. So I think that is an extremely important point, which is one of those things. And that's why you want to practice focusing your thought when things are going good, so that it's your default setting. When you are in the sway of a strong emotion, that you are thinking rightly, that you are thinking justly, so that when you get the results from that strong emotion, they're in line with what you actually want, because you responded instead of reacted. So, okay. So I give thanks in advance for the answer to my prayer. Gratitude. And that's one of those powerful emotions that makes things that it's continuously thinking rightly in the law. Gratitude is a great way to do that. Okay? So, and he explains the psalm much better than I would. So it's kind of interesting. The first day in February we had Psalm 1:1, and now we have Psalm 1:2. So his delight in the law of the Lord, and in his law he doth meditate day and night. So the person is aware of the law and meditates on it day and night. So if you are looking for good, then meditate on that law. So the law of the mind never fails. It can't. It's a law. It's like gravity. Gravity cannot fail. We'd have to lose a significant portion of the earth for gravity to fail. Even when it delivers us the things and conditions we do not like, it has still functioned perfectly. Our use of it determines our experience, and that's where it is. That's why we want to practice when things are good, so that when things go sideways, we have a prepared response. We have a default setting. And wise is the person who only thinks rightly. That's why we say, weed your garden. Watch the trend of your thoughts. Watch the trend of your thoughts. Let's see. You don't have to worry about every single little, thought that pops into your head. But if you start to notice you're getting more and more weeds, you need to look at your environment. Okay. Prayer, scientifically understood, is a statement of spiritual fact. It convinces us that good alone is true and right alone is victorious. That's prayer, scientifically understood, is a statement of spiritual fact. That is the most Ernest Holmes thing ever. He's like, all right, here, and that's why he has the 5 steps. He's like, and then he says, try it. Go out and try this. Try it. Test it. See how it works. As we are convinced of these facts, the results are brought into our lives by the law of life. So whatever good it is you want, state it as a fact. Believe it as a fact. And the law will produce it. Now, you get to say what, you don't get to say how, and that's a big part. If you get too much into the how, you are limiting spirit. So don't do that. And that's hard for us. I admit it. It's hard for us to give up the how. But Spirit has an infinite variety of unexpected ways of bringing us our good if we can let go of the how. All right. The psalmist advises us to delight in the law of the Lord. Gratitude. Which is the law of mind. He suggests that we think about this law both day and night. And that's what I'm talking about. Thinking about it day and night. The more practice we have, then when unexpected things happen, we already have a groove. We already know what to do. We don't have to worry about it. We don't have to worry about what our response is going to be because we know what to do. So to think about this law both day and night, especially when being held by a strong emotion. We may have what we want, but we must think about it definitely and continuously. It's not about obsession, and it's not about redoing the treatment, but it is about believing that your good is on the way in order to have it made manifest. Thanksgiving in prayer is vital because it is a powerful emotion. It is a powerful emotion. For it makes us believe that we already have our good. And that's one of the things, is like everything that could possibly exist already does in mind. And that right there, that's a big first step. Once you take that big step, every step after that's kind of little, and you can manage that. So it's like if you can accept that everything that could possibly exist already exists in the mind, which is one of the reasons why I love the concept of L space. Terry Pratchett is an author, and he has this concept of L space, and it's for librarians. Every book that has ever been written, could ever be written, will ever be written, already exists in L space. And a good librarian can access it. We won't discuss the fact that in this case the librarian is an orangutan because of a backfired spell, but he loves being it. So it already exists. Your good already exists. And you just have to believe it, and then it's already on its way to you. When the idea is established within us, then it takes form around us. Established within takes form around. I give thanks that there is a perfect law of mind and that I am able to use it. God responds to me as I respond to God, and that's the big thing. It's like if I'm coming at God hot and angry, then the response that I'm going to get, and that's not from God. God is not responding hot and angry, but the power is being reflected back at me. So it behooves me I can come in hot and angry as long as I'm focused on the good that I want to accomplish with the hot and angry. All right. But if I just come in hot and angry, God knows what's going to happen. And I said it, I meant it. And we're being punished by our own thoughts there, not by God. I now turn to the indwelling spirit and affirm its presence. I know that every true desire of my heart is being established unto me today. My good, your good already exists in mind. We just have to be willing to accept it. I place these desires in the law of good and rejoice that its perfect action is now taking place in me, around me, and through me. All right. In you, around you, and through you. We do say God can only do for us what God can do through us. And that's where that co-creator idea comes from. It's gotta, you have a part to play in the creation of your good. All this day, I remind myself that my demonstrations are already made. I think there's a word missing here. I think it's, I give thanks in advance for the answers to my prayers. I think they left out a word. My whole being is open and receptive to the good which is now arriving on my doorstep. I rest in the law and meditate upon its accuracy. It's not all hard work, but there is a little bit of sweat equity that goes into this. All right, beloveds. So, the mission for today. I'm going to use this one. The mission for today, should we choose to accept it, is to think about this law both day and night. Especially when we're being held in the midst of a strong emotion. All right? Because when we're being held in the midst of a strong emotion, that's a lot of power. You want to think about where your focus is and where it's going. All right, beloveds. What are you doing back there, baby? Okay. Yeah, no, I'm sorry. Okay. She's being really clingy lately. I think she's worried. She may be concerned about the weather. She is old. She's 17. So, all right. I am going to suggest, the other thing that I suggest is to do something loving for yourself, do something kind for yourself, do something compassionate for yourself, whatever it is. Be it a big thing, be it a small thing, does not matter. Today, because I'm concerned about the weather tomorrow, and I'm concerned that I'm not going to be able to get out and walk, which is how we kind of help break up that lactic acid from the gym today. I asked the trainer, hey, can you give me a bad weather workout? And I saw the text come through while I was doing this. So I've already got my loving, kind, and compassionate thing for me today. I asked for what I needed. Now the question is, now I got to do it tomorrow. So, all right. All right. So that is my suggestion for you. Loving, kind, compassionate. That is about creating that default setting. That's what I was talking about earlier. The more you practice while things are good, you create that default setting, you create that habit, you create that groove, so that when things aren't going the way, you already know what to do. You don't have to flounder around and go, oh, what do I do? You already know. You've been practicing. All right. That's why I suggest it every day. It is a spiritual practice. All right, beloveds. And it can make a good difference in your life. Taking 3 deep breaths before you say something to somebody, that's a good thing. All right. I do encourage you to do something to engage your mind and your body. I do encourage you to drink plenty of water. I don't know that we're going to see the sun for the next couple of days, so go get some bright light first thing in the morning. It really goes a long way to resetting your hormones. That's science, so go get some bright light early in your day. And open the windows of your soul. Allow the breath of heaven to remind you you do live in heaven right here, right now. It's all around us. Always. All the good we could ever want already exists in the mind of God, and a lot of it's already in form around us. So it is up to us to look for it. And as Emma says, look for it, praise it. All right, beloveds, take care of yourself. Stay warm with all the weather that's going on. Take care of yourself. I should be able to do this at 9 a.m. tomorrow. I don't see any problems with that. Friday and Saturday. I'll just make sure to keep my phone charged just in case. So I'll get them done. And I'm sure Reverend David will figure it out too. He managed through, because he the last year when we had that weather, he got his done even though he didn't have power for a couple of days. I just had some power blinks. A couple of hours where I was out of power, so take care of yourselves. All right, beloveds. Have a great day, an amazing day, a wondrous day, a fantastic day, a warm day, a Groundhog Day, Candlemas Day. Light a candle, invite the sun back into your life. All right? Have a good day, or if that is too much pressure, simply have a day. All right? You are enough just as you are, because you are a beloved child of God. Always. That is a state of grace. There is nothing that you can do to change that. And that is the amazing thing. Okay. Catch us on the social medias. We are the Running Rev Ryan. I am the Running Rev Ryan. We are Creative Life Spiritual Center or Creative Life Spark. So check both names when you're looking on the various social medias to find us. And take care of yourself. Know that you're loved. I will see you next time.